Hi folks, Roland Martin here and welcome to my YouTube channel. You know, today we're going to talk about some square bill crankbaits. One of my favorites that I've used for years and years is this Spro Little John, and this is the shallow series. It only runs about 3 or 4 feet deep. Now in comparison, the same plug, you can get the deeper plug like this one. Here's a Spro intermediate depth. You notice that the shallow one, the 3 to 5 foot, has a smaller lip than that deeper one. I'm going to try the shallow one just because I'm going to be fishing the bank a lot. It's kind of spawning season. I'm going to just kind of throw to the bushes and stuff. But the nice thing about these kind of plugs is they don't get hung up much. You can throw it in the shallow water. You can throw it in the logs and stumps for the most part and get it through a lot of heavy cover. So that's kind of what we're going to do today. I'm going to put it on some heavy line, well, 17-pound test monofilament, and I'm going to throw it on that on a big favorite rod. And let me just show you, I have a Palomar knot I'm going to tie. And I know it's not much of a deal. Palomar, it's the #1 knot in the whole world, I guess. But I'll show you how I tie it. To properly tie a Palomar knot, this is just basic stuff. You know, I'll always examine the line and make sure there's no frays to the line. The 17-pound test monofilament. Okay, I double it, and I got about a foot of line here free. Okay, and I come through that eye, in this case it's a split ring on the eye. I come through the little split ring, and I pull out about 5 inches of double line and make a little overhand loop knot around both the lines that I have, and come right through there with it as an overhand knot. Okay, it's just a little overhand knot. The tag end, which is a big loop, I put the plug right through there. Okay, pull it all tight, and then pull the tag end, cut it off. Hey, let's not throw that monofilament in the water. Let's throw it in the bottom of the boat. We'll clean it up later. Okay, I don't know. There's a log right there. I don't know how good that log is, but that's the kind of place that you can catch them on logs. I got one at first cast on the log. First cast on the log with the Spro crankbait. Nice bass. That's the log fish. That's on cue, son. Hey, how often does that happen? That's pretty cool, kind of cool. You know, I just happened to say there's a log there. I think I'm going to try it. And sure enough, he ate that thing off the log. Because that's what square bill crankbaits do. They come over logs. Nice, big 3 or 4 pound bass. And it comes right over that log. And there might even be a second fish on that log. I don't know. We'll find out. In the meantime, I got these pliers. And got to really be careful. Crankbait fishing is a lot of fun, but this is a square bill kind of crankbait, and it's not like regular crankbait fishing. This is shallow water crankbait fishing. I'm not going to be fishing deep, but there's a log right there. Nice big log. See it in the water? Nice big log. I'm going to throw past it like that. Crank it down. There's another one. Followed it up. Oh, I had him on. Evidently, there's another fish there. That was a nice one. That's a nice fish. Crank it down. Now, there's all different colors to think about. A lot of people like chartreuse colors. In clear water like this, I'd probably go with a shad or a sexy shad or something on that order there. That's kind of what I go for. I just had another. 2 casts and 2 strikes. That's not bad. That's about as good as it gets. Woo, son. Oh, actually, one hit it. One hit it right there. There's like a shoal or something there, or something. I hit the bottom or something. He hit it pretty good. Big old log. Big old log. There's one, another one. He came right there. Oh, look at this guy. Another. Look at that. Now, one thing about Spro tackle, I just want to tell you a little bit about Spro. They have Gamakatsu hooks. And look at that way that thing's hooked. That thing's not even hooked in the mouth. He's hooked on the side of the gill. And the reason why you catch them is that Gamakatsu Let me explain that. That's Gamakatsu is the parent company for Spro Tackle. Spro is the lure, but all the hooks are Gamakatsu, every single one of them. So anyway, what we have here is a super sharp Gamakatsu hooks. Okay, let me come on. Try that again. This fish here might be a whole bunch of them. I don't know. Just crank it down. Crank it down. Crank it down. Sometimes I'll stop it. Sometimes I'll just like a little bitty stop. That kind of goes good. But that one, he didn't do it. Spro Little John. This is my #1 little bitty bait. It hardly ever gets hung up, and I say that because I'm cranking through the timber right now, and I probably will get hung up. It gets hung up occasionally, but not bad. Not bad. Occasionally it gets hung up. Yeah, the Spro Little Crankbait, the Little John series, and it's John Cruz is the guy that developed this plug for Spro Tackle. He's one of the top pros that fishes the Elite series. And John also has a bait company. He makes missile baits and he makes other things. But he's quite a good pro fisherman. I've fished with him and I actually filmed with him a couple times. Look, there's another log. There's another log right there, folks. That's another log. So I don't know if it's going to bite on that log or not. But that's the beautiful thing about having a crankbait like this, is that it's pretty weedless. I mean, it's not weedless. It gets hung up occasionally. But I'm cranking through bushes and stumps and stuff too. I mean, this is not just any kind of little deal. And I do get hung up every once in a while. So it's not that I don't get hung up. I do get hung up a little teeny bit. Oh, there's one. I got one, son. I got pretty good one, I think. I think it's a pretty good one. Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. It's a good one. It's a good one. Look at this guy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh. I mean, he's a good one. He's full grown. Look at this guy. I mean, I'm talking about monster bass. Oh, a big 5-pounder or so. Oh, son. Oh, what are you talking about? Now we're talking. Woo! Big old Spro crankbait. Big old 5-6 pound bass. Man, he about wore me out. Look at that. I tell you, those little hooks, these little hooks that you see here, Gamakatsus, I mean, they do catch them. There's only 2 hooks in that thing, but I'm telling you, that little bitty plug, and they're strong hooks. These are really, that's a big old 5-pound bass. That's a beauty, son. That's what it takes, and that's the kind of fish you catch on a Spro plug. Woo! I love it. Now, I'd made cast that log, I don't know how many casts. I'd probably cast 4 or 5 times to that log, and he finally bit. So that just goes to show you that they don't always hit the first cast. You know, if you find a really good spot, like a good log, you know, work it over a little bit. You know, try some different angles. Jimmy Houston used to tell me what he likes to do is sometimes he'll find a log like that one that I just casted to, and he likes to work around the front of it so he can throw right down the side of it. And he said that's a more effective retrieve than coming across it, like I'm doing. But anyway, it worked this time. It worked. It worked. I'm throwing across it right now. Yeah. It casts like a bullet. That's another thing about a crankbait, particularly these square bills. You know, you're working a lot of bank and you need to make a long cast on occasion. And that's what I'm doing now. I can make a long cast if I have to. And so, oh, there's one hit it. He's got it. He's got it. He's not very big, I don't think. Maybe he is. I can't tell. Yeah, he's big. He's bigger than I thought. I didn't know he was big. Oh yeah, look at that, he is big. I thought he was little. If I'd lost him, I thought he was little. That's two off that log, big ones. Big old 4 or 5 pounders. Hitting the log pattern. That's a leaning log, a laying log. So note that big fish over there off that log, it was laying like this. That's a laying log. 2 big fish off the same log. Big, nice, beautiful bass. Almost as big as the last one. Good 4-pound class fish. Just as nice and healthy as can be. Son, I'm talking about crankbait fishing 101. This is the Spro, and it's such a cool lure. I love this lure. This is the Spro Little John. It's that 3 to 5 foot series. It's the small one. Ooh, another beautiful bass. Beautiful bass. Now, I don't know if there's another fish there. It would be kind of funny if there were, but I'm going to make another cast and try it just to see. Coming right on that log, and one might be following. I don't know. I'm just casting and retrieving. I'm not doing anything tricky. I'm not doing a bunch of pausing in different kinds of different speeds. I'm just kind of cranking at a medium speed, and that's kind of the way. And plus, in the timber in the heavy cover like this, I don't think you have to. I mean, you're hitting stuff. You're bouncing off all kind of limbs and logs, and so that's kind of part of it. So anyway, boy, that laying log pattern was something else. But there's not that many laying logs that I see. You know, that's the problem. I'm an opportunist, and I like to develop a pattern. And what a pattern is that exact set of water and cover conditions that attract fish to that particular spot. I got it. And another spot, another big bass of that same log. Just unbelievable. Anyway, I'm a pattern fisherman. Oh, look at this guy. Another big one. Another big one. Another big one. Another big one on the Spro plug. It's 3 or 4 off that log. Just a big old fish. I mean, that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about, folks. It's just phenomenal. It's just phenomenal. Oh, look at how he's hooked. He's hooked all kind of ways. He's hooked where he can't get loose. Look at that. He's right all crossways this way. He's hooked this way. Another big 4-pounder. Ooh, son. I'm telling you what, these hooks, they don't look it, but they are sharp and they do the job. And I'm pulling them out with the pliers as best I can, but it's just a hard operation to get them out sometimes. There, I got it out. Another beautiful, beautiful bass. Pretty much on that same log. Big old 4-pounder. Son, woo! That's what it's all about. Try to get a big one here. Right up shallow, just right up into nothing. Just a steady medium retrieve. That's an 8-to-1 ratio reel, by the way, folks. 8-to-1 ratio. And I like that for cranking like this. Okay. Just crank it around. And, yep, right across those little points. Oh boy, one hit it then. I don't know if he's any size, but he hit it hard. I don't know how big he is. Oh yeah. Oh, did you see that guy? He was a nice one. He was a big 3 or 4 pounder. They don't often jump out. I don't know what happened. He hit it like a ton of bricks. And I don't know how he got off. The hooks are all right here. He'll miss them every once in a while. I haven't missed many today though. I haven't really missed many at all. So I'm just gonna throw right back in there. Come right down this same point. Boy, he hit hard. Woo! He really slammed it. I couldn't tell if he was big or not because he came at me. See, that's another thing you don't always know about a fish when they first hit it. Say a moving bait like a crankbait like this one, is if they come at you. Sometimes they're following it and they come at you, and you set the hook and he's still facing you, and he's swimming with you or towards you. And you often don't know that he's any size, and so you won't set the hook properly, and he'll jump and throw the hook. So when you get a strike on a crankbait, here's a rule of thumb. I don't care if you think it's small, really get the hook set on him. That was probably my issue on that last one. He was coming at me pretty solid, and like a dummy, I didn't put a lot of hook pressure on him, and so he jumped off. That's what happens. They jump off when you don't get the hooks in them good. And that's exactly what happened. So, anyway, my mistake. I'll get another one here maybe. And I'll show you. I'll set the hook properly. And I'll show you what I think is the proper way of setting the hook. With this 17-pound line, I'm not making real long casts. It probably is only getting 3 feet. 3 is about probably all it's doing. It'll get more if you make a longer cast with lighter line. You could put it on 10-pound line, for example, the same plug, and it'll go another foot or so deeper for where you're throwing it. And that's fine. Some people throw it on 10-pound line. There's certain lakes that you can get away with that. But this lake you can't. Look at all these logs and stuff. 10-pound line, I wouldn't have any lures left. I'd lose them all. Okay, now that bush right there, that's a perfect spot for a plug. I'm going to throw just right into the center, crank it down. Oh man, he's got it, look at that. He got that thing, it was just perfect. That was just the exact kind of, look at that big old bass. He was just right there in that stick up. I just knew, that's the kind of place you want to target. You want to target those kind of spots. Really beautiful bass. Beautiful, beautiful bass. Nice big 4-pound fish. Big old giant fish like this. Folks, that's what it's all about. That's what bass fishing, and that's what pattern fishing is all about. When you're talking about pattern, you're talking about that exact set of water and cover conditions. And so I knew that stick up, that log was just the right depth, it was just the right spot, it was just the perfect spot for a nice big bass. Okay, now, I'm gonna kind of ease along, make another cast to it. Little one. Ah, that was a way small one. Oh boy, I got another one. I got the same bush. There's more than one fish in the same bush. Same bush. Not a real big one. Kind of small. Hey, but he thinks he's big. You really need good pliers. Okay, now, that's a couple that were in that bush. I'm just gonna kind of just ease that way. And just try it again. Oh, another one. No? He did hit it though. Oh, look at that. He came right at the top. He followed it up and he crashed it at the top. He just crashed it at the top of the water. It was a fish. I didn't know I had one. It's a small one, but he followed it back. He followed it out to the boat. And then I was fooling around waiting for one thing or other, and he just came floating to the top and he crashed it. A little one. Okay, heck of a deal. That's some pretty interesting bass fishing, huh? You know, I'm hoping I'm teaching you a few things about cranking. You want to throw to these really thick places and throw to the bank, kind of a medium retrieve. Use heavy enough tackle. Don't use real light tackle. Use a big heavy, in this case a 7-foot medium heavy action rod. I use an 8-to-1 ratio. This reel is an 8-to-1 ratio. Oh, there's one. No, I'm on a log. Oh no, I got a little one. I wasn't hung up. I was hung up. Huh. Yeah. Well, catching a lot of fish. I tell you, these little crankbaits are something. You can catch a lot of fish on a crankbait. It's a money bait. And in the springtime, you gotta have some crankbaits, particularly these little square bill, pretty much weedless crankbaits. That's what's really gonna do you in. It's gonna really, really pay off. So, oh, a little baby, another little baby one. So what you have to do is you have to be careful. And, you know, little things like this, it doesn't sound like much, but that thing can hook you. Little old pound bass, just shake them off. You gotta be really careful. Okay, like a nice long cast to the shoreline, kind of a steady retrieve, just kind of steady it down. Just kind of, if you want, you can kind of stop it. You know, that stop and go is something you want to try, you know, as part of the pattern. But basically just cover a lot of water. Okay, nice long cast over there. Oh, what happened? Kind of messed up. I don't know what this is. I've never seen anything like that. What is that thing? Kind of fluffy looking line. I've never seen anything like that on a reel. What is it? Is that a backlash? The first one I've ever had. I don't know. Oh, I got one. I got one. I got one. Right off the bat. Oh, look at that guy. Oh, son. Oh, catch a big old bass on a backlash reel. Well, son, oh, look at this guy. I hope I'm showing you a few things about crankbait fishing. That's a really cool deal. Anyway, folks, I hope that you'll try these small little crankbaits, particularly what we call little Spro 3.5 Little Johns. It's a little, what we call square bill, practically weedless crankbait. Anyway, folks, I really enjoyed doing these YouTubes, and thanks for watching, and thanks for subscribing. I hope I'm teaching you a few things. That's what I'm trying to do. We'll see you again soon.